Alright, guys, time for some Netflix recommendations. Obviously, I'm only gonna recommend things that I've actually watched, and I'll might gloss over some things, be like, "Oh, people said it's good," but mainly it'll just be stuff that I've watched, and I'll try to stick to things that are mainly like only on Netflix. But if it's on here, I'll search it up quick. So there might be quite a lot of typing in this one, so bear with me on that end. But generally, it'll be stuff that's mainly on Netflix and stuff that is out at the time of recording in March 2021. So to start with, this is UK Netflix at the moment. So if you get a VPN and go to Korean Netflix, you'll find there is tons of things, especially movies. There's like triple the amount of movies compared to like a lot of foreign Netflix. Um okay, so as we can see on the screen, first thing is I just searched the Korean audio description so that we could see. Usually, if it has Korean audio description, it means that it was published by Netflix at least. So generally, this stuff should be mainly only on Netflix. So the first one that we have here that I've actually watched is Kingdom, of which I watched both seasons, and I think it was good, but it is probably a little bit difficult. It's not too difficult, but it's a little bit difficult. But it's kind of worth watching, even if you watch it with English subtitles. It was a pretty interesting TV show, and it's not finished yet, so there's still more to come with that. So you don't necessarily have to start it now, but you can get caught up. So this one, 경이로운 소문. I actually want to watch this because it looks kind of good. It's um like a fantasy kind of thing. So that's on my watch list. Sweet Home, definitely worth watching. I would say it is like 100% worth watching. It's pretty easy dialogue. There's a couple of like sci-fi words in there, but it doesn't really matter. Um, it's really good to watch, and it's only about 10 episodes or something. So that's definitely on one of the must-watch list. Um, what else I watched? I watched Itaewon Class, but I cannot remember a thing that happened. I cannot remember a single thing that happened, and I think I was just like half watching it, and I wasn't really paying attention. But so I'll have to rewatch it later, um, to like remind myself what's going on. But for me, it was just in the middle. I can't really recommend it, and it's quite long as well. Like the episodes are like 73 minutes each, or something like that. I think it was 73. Yeah, so it's quite long, around 70 minutes, 65 minutes each. So that's quite long as well. Which makes it kind of hard to watch. Personally, for me, I prefer something that's um, at least, or at most, an hour, but half an hour episode is even better. So this movie, 승리호, so this was actually pretty good. I would suggest using the audio description because there's a lot of English dialogue in it, and I think other like Russian dialogue as well and stuff. But all this dialogue, if you put the audio description on, it gets dubbed over because obviously, if you're blind and you're Korean and you can't understand what's going on, you need some kind of aid. So this was pretty good. It was actually a fun movie until the end, and I'm not going to spoil it, but the end is very unfulfilling, unsatisfying. It's a very unsatisfying end, and it could have ended better, I believe. And I think everyone would think the same, every single person that's watched it. So the rest of this startup I've heard is really good, but I haven't watched it. And I've also heard this run on is good, but I haven't watched that either. Um, Vagabond, that was really good actually. Um, I don't know if it's like 100% worth watching, but it is pretty good. And a lot of the language is kind of like political. It's about a guy whose son has been on a plane crash, or not his son, his nephew was on a plane crash or something, and then there was a girl who's related, and they kind of go everywhere. There's a bit of Arabic dialogue and English dialogue, but again, you can put the audio description on. But it's got enough dialogue in it that if you have the audio description on, you may find that it's just overwhelming. There's too much dialogue happening. So preferably, audio description is for things that you either have downtime, a lot of downtime, just to fill in that space. So if people aren't talking a lot, like Pimide sub, So I watched like 2 episodes of this, and that for me was a it was kind of boring because there was just so much non-dialogue parts, and I was trying to watch it for the dialogue, so I just dropped that. Um, what else do we have here? I haven't watched many of these to be honest. Mr. Sunshine, I really like this drama. I watched it when it was coming out, but I can't recommend the start part. So you have to kind of get through the start because the start is kind of slow. Because I remember trying to rewatch it last year at some point, and I started the first episode and I was like, oh, this is kind of slow, but it gets really good towards the end, and it's kind of like a perfect like second half, and it starts getting interesting when they've introduced all the characters. So some cartoon, some other things I've never watched. An actual TV show, I don't know why. So Ingan Suop, I think it's called Extracurricular. So this is like actually amazing. This is definitely a must watch. It's definitely a 10 out of 10 show, and I would love. I don't know whether I'd want to see a season two, as you'll see if you get to the end. But the whole premise and the characters were like really good, and the whole plot was good as well. So that's definitely worth watching. So Okja, that was a pretty good film, but I think it's like half in English. I can't 100% remember, but it was like half in English. But I'm sure if you put the audio description on, um, a lot of it will get replaced. But it was a pretty interesting movie. I started this Nayanara, which is okay, but because it's set in an older time period, and it was kind of slow, I guess. But the way they talk is a bit different to possibly what you want to be learning. But it's pretty interesting in a way. But I think I might finish that later. But I just didn't carry it on because I started watching some I can't remember what it was, but I started watching something else. So Core, this is good, really good movie. Start to finish, amazing. I liked it. I heard. I think afterwards I looked it up and it was, but it's based on another movie, but obviously that's not as successful as I just feel like the production value was really good in this one. I also watched this Rugal. So this is like a sci-fi TV show. I thought it was pretty good, and I was talking about it with someone the other day, and they said it was just, they didn't like it, but I thought it was pretty good. So there's a couple of other things. How can I get to the other things without making too much noise? Why does it keep coming up with? So if we look, so we have what do we have? So if we just type in Hanguk, here we go. We got the Drug King that's on my list to watch. Agashi, the Handmaiden. This is a really good movie, although it is like half in Japanese, but especially the first half. But as you get towards the end, it's like I think part two and part three they're like mostly in Korean. But it was a really good movie, and I can recommend that one. So this one, Psychokinesis, I think it's called Yum Yup, maybe. This is like a comedy movie. I watched this quite a while ago. I didn't think it would. I think it recently came onto the UK Netflix, but I already watched it on the Korean Netflix because I just watched like loads of movies. So that was really good as well. So I can kind of recommend it. There's quite a lot of conversational stuff in it. So if that's what you want, then that's good. Hotel de Luna. This is like really popular before. I haven't watched it myself. Saraita. That is, I've heard bad things about it, and people were trashing it online, but I think I still want to watch it myself later on. This one, Steel Rain. This is like half in like North Korean dialect as well, or at least what the South Koreans would consider North Korean dialect. But I really like this movie, and I really like the fight scenes. So it's a pretty good movie overall. So if you're into the action stuff, it's pretty good. This one, Sanyangi Shigan. This one, I've watched this twice. I really like this movie. It's like a thriller, and if you have the audio description on, the woman talks in a way. It's like I don't know how they've done it, or whether it's just like a person narrating it, rather than a computer. But the way she talks really like builds up the suspense as well. So it's quite interesting. So yeah, this was a really good movie. It's like a thriller and crime movie. What else have we watched here? So some of this stuff I think shows up when you type in Hanguk because it has the subtitles. Um, can't find The Sound of Your Heart. So this is like a comedy. I watched this a really long time ago, and I've put it on my watch list again because I want to rewatch it again. Um, what I remember, it was kind of funny, but obviously I didn't really understand as much Korean as I do now. And I think I actually, when I originally watched this, I think I watched it with English subs because I was literally like towards the start of learning. But if I rewatch that again, I can't really remember much that happened, so I need to definitely need to rewatch. So a lot of things you'll find are like dramas. There's a lot of dramas that are really recommended, like this one, Descendants of the Sun. That's really highly recommended. But I haven't watched it. Shigno, that is really highly recommended as well, but I haven't actually got around to that. It is actually based on the same thing as a movie. What's the movie called again? Um, Memories of a Murder. I think that's the movie. Yeah, that's definitely the name. So it's based on like a real life crime. So, but apparently people say this is a lot better than the movie, and it was really good. Um, what else have we watched? So we've got some English movies here. The Reply series, Reply 1994, 1998, 1988, and 1997. I would recommend 94 and 97 the most, but I really disliked 88. But these are just seriously long, like an hour and a half episodes, and so I think towards the end of 1994, the episodes get to like 2 hours long. I think the last like two or three episodes are like 2 hours long. So it's kind of long and it's kind of interesting, and it's like all in the dialect as well, mostly in dialect. So it's kind of, and it's not great for learning just like a standard Korean, but it's good for if you want to learn a specific dialect, you can specifically try and copy one of the way that one of them talks. So you've got a couple of things like Live. This is like a police drama, I suppose. I haven't actually watched it, but I have watched. I think I watched the first episode, but I want to carry on watching that because it's got Kwang Soo in it. So he's in High Kick 2 as well, and he's pretty funny. I started watching this Chocolate and ended up dropping it because it was a bit boring. Um, Someone else was in that as well, but I can't remember who it was. But that was kind of boring. Noktuka, I watched this. I thought it was really good, but it's all like Cholado Saturi. So the whole thing is in that. Although some, it's like, imagine if Americans made a British movie and they were all speaking like English accents. The accents are kind of off, except like a few characters, and you can really tell the characters who are like from Joladu because their accent is like spot on. One of the girls in there, I think she's from Yosu, so like her accent is spot on, but some of the others they kind of like drop the accent a bit or they miss certain things out. But that was really good as well. It might not actually be on other people's Netflix because I think it's not on Korean Netflix either, but I'm sure you can find it elsewhere. But I thought it was good, but it's probably not. If you're trying to learn standard Korean or just conversational Korean, it's probably not the best TV show to watch. So I know this has been quite long now, so I'll just try and find some of the TV shows, some of the better TV shows. So one thing I would definitely recommend is um, Oh My Ghost, but I think this is not the right one. So Oh My Ghost was, oh yeah, this is the right one. So Oh My Ghost from 2015. This one was really good. I really like this one. I really like the story. Um, yeah, I can highly recommend it. It's a bit weird. It's a bit weird at first, but the story is actually really good. Um, and the way that it plays out. So that's just a typical drama. Sky Castle is apparently really good, but I feel like the level is going to be quite high. I haven't actually started watching it, but because of the subject matter, everyone recommends it, and a lot of people say it's really good. But I think you would probably need to watch that with English subs if you wanted to enjoy it more, and get like 100% out of it. Because I think if you try to watch that in Korean, you would definitely miss things unless you were like really high level. So another what did I watch? Kim Bok Soo. So Kim Bok Soo was really good. Or is it Kim Bok? It's Kim Bok Joo, isn't it? So Kim Bok Joo was really good. I really enjoyed that. I watched that recently. I thought it was good all the way through, pretty much, except like I think one episode towards the end. Um. So and then there's another one called, if you allow me to search it. Mudue Kojime. I don't think it's. Ah, there we go. It's on there, but for some reason it doesn't show up when you search any of the other things to do with Korean. So this was really good until like right at the end. So I think how many episodes was it? So I think it was about episode 13, and then after that it just completely dropped off. But it was really good up until then, and it wasn't as high level as what you would expect. So that was pretty good. What else have we got? There is another one which I watched a few times. I think it's called Age of Youth. Yeah, so Hello My Twenties. This was really good as well. Both seasons. I've watched this twice, and I'll probably end up watching it again in the future because it was pretty good and it's very easy to understand. So that's definitely a good one. So this has been quite long now. So I think that's about everything. So mainly you can search up things and get ideas of what to watch, and even to be honest, the recommendations of Netflix are actually pretty good. Like even on the home screen, but so a couple of things I would definitely TV shows I would definitely recommend. Like 100% have to watch. Ingan Suop, extracurricular, and Sweet Home. They are like 100% worth watching. Like must watches. Mr. Sunshine that was very good, but I think not a lot of people will get into it. But I really liked the dynamic between all the characters, and I liked the setting that the guy goes to America, and then one guy goes to Japan, and then there's like a whole like the whole setting was like perfect for that kind of dynamic. Um, so I think that's about everything. So thanks for watching.